Welcome into the latest edition of the Stealing with the Boys podcast. I am your host, Judy Riddle here, along with my boys.
Jawan Williams.
And Coach Campbell.
Finally, we get Trey back in the podcast. Busy couple of weeks for Trey. But all in all, man, Juwan, with the cigar in his mouth, the sunglasses on, he has the room to celebrate because he's the one that has held on to the belief that the Steelers could keep this season alive, that it could be salvageable, that they could turn it around. And after 3 straight wins of a few games of which were highly unlikely wins for the Steelers coming in, the Steelers are now 9-6 with a very, very high chance of making the playoffs and winning the AFC North. So, Juwan, I'm not going to talk any further. Take your victory lap. Take your victory lap. Even though it's truly a victory lap for us all, we're all happy with the results. But go ahead. You were right. Let's hear you gloat. You earned it.
I have to say, I tried to tell you. I told you. You told me it was a 0% chance that we was going to win. That's what you said. You said that. And people are actually mad that you said that. They say you ain't have no belief. This team, I told y'all, this team is different. I told y'all this team is different now. Okay? These last 3 weeks, we have shown growth on all sides of the ball, and we finally getting the notoriety that we're supposed to get. That's all I want to say. That's all I need to say. My team looks great. Go ahead.
I was gonna say who's mad at me, man? Who's mad at me, and why are they mad at me? I need to know.
My cousin from Pittsburgh is mad at you.
Cousin from Pittsburgh.
He listened to the pod and he said he was like, tell Junie he ain't have no faith. Why he ain't have no faith in us?
It's been sucked out of me, man. It's like they're starting to earn it back. You know what I mean? But it's like after the way the season ended last year and the way the seasons have ended the last 5 to 6 years and how it's been very, very similar. Guys, this is the first time the Steelers have had a winning record in January when they are competing for the playoffs. I mean, in almost a decade. I mean, we're talking about 2017 was the last time that they've gone on a run while competing for the division, because I think the only season since then that they have been this competitive in December and January was Kenny Pickett's rookie year, when they kind of had a easy schedule down the stretch and Kenny caught fire and they were rolling, but they didn't make the playoffs that year because they were very well out of it. And so I'm sorry, I didn't have any faith because I hadn't seen anything in almost 10 years. And so I was giving up. I was giving up, but I was wrong. I was wrong.
Is the faith finally restored?
Oof. Yes. Yes, it is. And I honestly want to hold on to my my negative viewpoints here, because I feel like that jinx has been rolling for us. Like, I can be the villain the Steelers need to catapult themselves into contention. So honestly, like, part of me is already wanting to reel back what I just said there. But I mean, to be honest, yeah, I'm starting to believe this defense is playing better. This offensive line is playing better. Aaron's getting protection. Dylan Cook coming in at left tackle has been amazing. The run defense, especially with Derek Harmon, looked spectacular. And it seems like instead of this defense looking like world beaters at the beginning of the year, like we're used to seeing them, it seems like they're like saving that period of domination for right now. And it's like, if that is truly what they're doing, instead of coming out guns a-blazing, being the number one defense in September and October, and they really have been kind of holding it together and really showing their stuff now, then yeah, I'm starting to buy in a little bit. I'm starting to buy in. I can't help it. Trey, you haven't been on the show in the last few weeks.
Yeah,
You
I
had
know.
some stuff going on. I need your opinion on this stuff.
Yeah, I'll start with the defense because you were just talking about the defense. Uh the way I look at it, this defense, man, like you look at the running backs that exploited them and then the running backs that we shut down, like our defense got up for the big games. For Jameer Gibbs at what, 5 yards the whole game rushing? Wasn't it like 5 yards?
Ooh,
Listen to this. This is
ooh,
what's actually crazy
Yeah,
here.
like
When you look at total rushing yards, the Steelers had 230 rushing yards. We did.
I was gonna get to that.
The
I was gonna get to
Lions had 15 total as a team. And
And
you want
Jameer
to
Gibbs
know
had 5.
I'm looking at it right now. Jameer Gibbs had no
two.
2 yards, 7 carries for 2 yards, point
See,
three a carry.
that is what I'm talking about. Like, Derek Harmon coming in is huge, but you look at it, this defense has went through all year injuries here and there. One guy's down, another guy's down, and we just plug new people in, and the people that are coming in are just playing well. Like Asante Samuel, Jr. came in, started for us for the last 2 games, and him and JPJ are a dynamic cornerback duo. And then you have the Swiss Army knife in Jalen Ramsey. He had to go down to the slot because um, Michael's got him. It's just like we have people like they built this defense to where people are able to step in. Like you have people that can play pretty much anywhere. Like Jabril Peppers doesn't even see the field. He could play slot. He could play that nickel linebacker. Like so, the way I look at it, man, it's just like our defense has all these pieces, and you can pretty much put them wherever. Um, Now we were dogging Terrell Austin all year long. I don't know if it was him or Mike Tomlin stepped in a little bit, but the way the defense has been being called and like the timely blitzes and just the coverages they're calling, it has been night and day from what 3 4 weeks ago. It's just it looks like a whole new defense, which is I don't understand though why wait until now, but maybe they did that strategically. Get hot when it matters, get that defense rolling, and we're stopping the run. And you know what? In playoffs, it's run the ball, stop the run. That's the two biggest things. What did we do on offense this week? Like you said, we had 200 plus rushing yards. Jalen Warren's starting to get the ball more. Kenneth Gainwell is just a. I said it in the group chat, and Juwan's like, "Slow your roll," but look at his stats the last 3 weeks. He's a Le'Veon Bell 2.0. Like he's getting the touches, rushing the ball. His route running, his receiving is just incredible. He's literally our wide receiver one, and now he's really our wide receiver one. But the way I look at our offense, though, like Aaron Rodgers was the missing piece. Like I feel like Russ was always that go happy guy, but Aaron Rodgers is holding these guys accountable, getting them to where they need to be. And I don't know if you guys heard the Instagram clip or whatever, the NFL films, where he's just telling people what to run. It reminded me of like what Big Ben would do: draw plays in the sand, go out there, do it, and execute it. So I think that just plays a big role in it. Arthur Smith's starting to call better plays, but I think majority of it is Aaron Rodgers having more input in this offense. And man, I'm I know I was out with Junie. I was out on this team. I wanted them to just tank, lose the rest of the year. Thought they were going to lose the rest of the year, but the way they're playing right now, oh man, I think we have a chance. We have a chance to at least win a playoff game. At least win one playoff game. You see the AFC. The AFC is so wide open. The Chiefs aren't in there anymore. They're eliminated. Um, the Ravens probably won't make it. We have to beat them, and a bunch of things have to go our way. But man, we control our own destiny in the playoffs. But the teams that are in the playoffs, I think we have a shot versus all of them. We already beat the Patriots. They've only beat 2 teams over 500. Like Denver's not unbeatable. Their defense is filthy, but I think that offense is very, very containable. And the other top teams like Jacksonville's getting hot. Jacksonville reminds me of us. Like we're getting hot. They're getting hot at the right time. We're getting hot at the right time. I think that could be a matchup that could be insane to see in the playoffs. But
I don't care what Jacksonville looks like or who plays for Jacksonville. I never want to see the Jacksonville Jaguars in the
oh
playoffs.
yeah,
As a Pittsburgh Steelers fan,
never,
I am scarred by that franchise. I
never.
can't stand them. But no, I mean, all in all, like this has been the consensus. This team looked dead in the water. They looked like they couldn't elevate their game. It looked like they kind of hit that wall, that they had reached their maximum potential on the season. And now I'm looking at it, it's like, wow, this defense is stepping up. We've won 2 games in a row without TJ Watt, when beforehand the Steelers were 1-11 without TJ Watt. Now I'm sitting here thinking, maybe him missing a handful of games and getting some rest and coming back a little bit, more fresh and a little bit more rejuvenated, that this could take this defense even to another level. We see this a lot with other teams that go and win playoff games, that sometimes they struggle. Last year, I bring it up all the time. The Ravens had the 32nd ranked defense for the first half of the season. Second half of the year, they were the number 1 defense in the league. And so it's like, it's the teams that find it, and they find it at the right time. And it's like, beating the Ravens and Lions on the road, even though those 2 teams are struggling, are massive, massive wins. And then just handling the Dolphins the way that they did, it's like this team is really starting to put it together. And I think it starts with Aaron Rodgers. When he has protection and they
He's so
can
elite.
manipulate the defense, and the defense knows that they have taken him in the passing game out of it, and it forces the Steelers into obvious running situations. I feel like that's the key. The more protection Aaron Rodgers gets, and the more time that he gets to be able to throw the ball, which he can still do at a high level. He just can't move like he used to.
Hey, he can
That's the
still
key.
move a
That's the
little
key.
bit.
He can move a
still
little.
move
He's
a
not.
little
Let's
bit.
get it.
We're
Hold on now, Junie. You
we're
can't.
not. He's not moving like MVP
No,
Rodgers. Okay,
no, but he
let's
can
leave
still
it.
He
move,
had more
bro.
yards.
He can still
He had more
move. He can
yards
still
than
move.
he had more yards than Jameer Gibbs.
Let's okay. I
And
want
he
to shout
averaged
out.
more yards. He averaged
I want
4.
to shout out 2 people and go off of what Junie just said too. Jack Sawyer came in, started his first game, and he played a pretty damn good game. He filled up the stat sheet, so shout out to Jack Sawyer. But another thing I want to say, that protection's coming from being able to run the ball on first down and get yardage, get positive yardage, put us in good second down positions. Like, I don't know what got into offensive line the second half of the year. The first half of the year they played well, but the second half of the year, man, they look at one of the best offensive lines in football. And who would have thought that coming into the season that we'd be saying that the offensive line is a top 5, top 10 offensive line?
And I
They're
know
young, man, and they're young.
we mentioned Dylan Cook, but we didn't even mention Spencer Anderson being in there for Isaac Seumalo. Like, the
Yep.
entire left side was backups in that game, and those big runs by Jalen Warren came from the left side. And
Andres
I
Pete
mean,
was in there too.
it's baffling, the turnaround that they have done, going from that Bills game where, again, we discussed how the crowd was chanting to fire Tomlin. Trey and I, we were ready to throw in the towel in the season, throw in the towel on Tomlin, and it is just completely turned around. Now, again, they aren't in the clear yet. They still need to they need to either see the Ravens lose, because if the Ravens lose Saturday, they could go into the game against Cleveland on Sunday, and they're already AFC North champions. And so that would be huge. But not having DK Metcalf, and the Ravens still have a very slim chance and an opportunity, us missing our number 1 wide receiver, that takes a lot of attention, that opens up some of these other guys that we've added to the offensive mix. How is that going to impact these last 2 games? That's something to see, because we're not in the clear yet. And so they've got to come out and finish it if the Ravens are to go to Green Bay and get a win.
And you got to think Green Bay is probably going to be without Jordan Love as well.
Yeah.
Actually, him and Malik Willis actually was practicing today.
Jordan Love
was practicing.
Jordan Love and Malik Willis was practicing today.
After he got smacked like that, that's actually insane. But yeah,
that's crazy.
We'll see if he plays. But at the same time, like, fellas, I'm hype about it, but I'm trying not to get too hype. Like Jimmy said, like, as soon as we start giving some of these coaches credit, they just lay an egg. Like they just lay an egg. And I know Juwan's still gonna be hyping them up, but I want to see us finish his last two. Like win out, and I will be super hyped. I'll be completely back on board, and I don't care who the Browns play. I know Judkins is out, which kills me in my fantasy finals, but yeah, Judkins is out, and then Baltimore's banged up still. Lamar hasn't been healthy all year. Who knows if Lamar plays this week? Honestly, I know he didn't practice today. Like he has that back injury, but yeah, man, I'm hyped, but at the same time, I'm trying to, just tame myself a little bit. I don't want to get too high on this team.
Let's talk about the biggest cause for concern these last two games. Obviously, the whole DK Metcalf with the Detroit fan on the sideline situation. Apparently, this stems back to last season when DK was still on the Seattle Seahawks and they played in Detroit last year, and he had reported that fan last year to the officials saying that he was inciting stuff, talking a little crazy on the sidelines. And so this goes back to last year. Reed brings it up this year, and then this is what we get on the sideline coming back from a commercial break. DK Metcalf losing his head. It's I've seen a couple videos from spectators that were right there. I haven't heard anything egregious. I know there's rumors and speculations that there were some very, very egregious comments made, which have been yet to be verified. So I want to make that very, very clear. But all in all, there was an altercation between DK Metcalf and a fan that resulted in DK not necessarily hitting him, but kind of thrusting him, having a grip on his t-shirt there, and nearly hitting him in the face, and has resulted in a 2-game suspension. So, guys, what are our reactions, number one, to this going down, and also the 2-game suspension and how that will impact the Steelers for these final 2 games in the regular season? Juwan, I'll start with you on this one.
I don't think that it should have been 2 games. I just think, when I saw it at first, I was like, yeah, he's definitely gonna get. Well, at first I was like, it'd be a fine, but then, like, the more I seen it, I was like, the most he'll get is the Browns game. I don't think 2 games. I think 2 games is crazy. Also, the fan, why is he not banned? He should be banned from any stadium. If he, this is his second time doing this in a year. In a whole year. I know it's 2 seasons, but a whole year. So he did the same thing last year. If DK's punished, why isn't the fan punished too?
I think it's more of like holding the players to a higher standard, and like Junie was saying in the beginning, like that fan's not making as much money as DK is. DK needs to just let that go.
I'm saying that is true, but still, this is his second time.
Second offense, I get it.
You can. Here's my thing: is like if the rumors that were circulating, because there were rumors that were going around last night that he made, a racist comment and a comment towards DK's mother using a sexually explicit term that I'm not going to use on the podcast. But if those were in fact true and proven to be true, I think without a doubt the league is banning him, and he's gone publicly, probably losing his job, the whole 9 yards. The problem is right now is with the videos that have come out from a couple angles of a couple spectators in that area of DK walking up and doing the action of grabbing his shirt and then thrusting it forward. It didn't appear that he was really saying anything outside of normal, in my opinion, and again, maybe excessive to the point of being annoying and probably being disruptive, but nothing that it is out of bounds to where I think you can take measures for him to do it. Yeah, he was probably being annoying. He's probably getting under DK's skin and probably targeting DK to get a reaction. Those things are all probably true, but again, that's not against the code of conduct that the NFL requires for its fans. And so technically, he didn't necessarily step out of bounds. DK Metcalf is the one that did. Now, we can like that, we can disagree with that, but that kind of, for me, is what it is. The guy is just an annoying, probably highly intoxicated fan, not shutting up and talking to DK the whole time. DK remembers him from last year, this, that, and the third, and it escalated to what it was. But at the end of the day, this guy's a fan at a game. DK Metcalf is a top 5 paid wide receiver on a team that's trying to get into the playoffs when his value to this team is, I mean, there's only a handful of guys that may be more valuable to what it takes for the Steelers to win and the operation that it takes for them to win than a guy like DK Metcalf.
I
And
understand.
so that's what he's got to get through mentally.
I understand that, but it was a video also that came out today from another angle when the whole interaction was over. The fan was like, that was my goal. And that's when he took his shirt off and all that. So I just think if like you said in the group chat, 2 wrongs don't make a right. So I think the fans should be banned too. If DK, because DK is has the most to lose out of this. If he's getting penalized for it, the fans should get penalized too.
I
don't
agree,
know.
but at the same time, I have heckled, like, you have people heckling players week in and week out, and if he didn't say anything absolutely crazy, like, I know he's allegedly said those things and said insane things, but if there's, I don't even want to say if there's no proof of that, but if he didn't say, especially if he didn't say those things, he didn't say anything to where you can ban him from a game or do anything like that. But
I'm gonna
yeah,
call a spade a spade. It's a sold out national televised game. Detroit sold that game out. If you're yelling at DK Metcalf to where he can hear you on the sideline, there is somebody in that. There are hundreds of people in that area that will be able to hear you. And it's like, I mean, think about it. When we went to the Titans Jaguars game, and we're heckling the Jags players that mess with the terrible towel, you know what I mean? Like, we're messing with those guys. We're looking up their names on the depth chart. We're giving them stuff for it, you know what I mean? But we're not crossing the line. That's the point of it. If he crossed the line and evidence comes out and people come out and say that he did those things, yeah, ban him, get him out of there. He's gone. He needs to go. He should never go to an NFL game. Period. Not just in Detroit. But if he's just heckling the same way that we do and we've done, and and trying to get under guys' skins, like, I mean, that's on the player. That's on the player. I mean, there are millions of fans that go to NFL games every single year and heckle players every single year. And it has got to be, the player to understand that I'm an NFL player. I make millions of dollars to play a game. These guys are paying hundreds of dollars just to come and see me. It's not worth me even giving them any sort of attention, because you're above that. Like, you are physically, financially, and publicly above that. And there's just nothing else to it to me.
Well, I understand that, but now it brings a topic up because of this situation. Roman Wilson has a third chance. A third chance. 3 times. 3 strikes. It's your third one. To actually show this is his biggest game of the year. And Tomlin said it. Tomlin put it out there for him to know that basically this is your last chance. If you really want to be on this team, this is your last chance. If you really want playing time, it's your last chance. So Roman Wilson, I've been calling your name because I wanted you to be great. Actually, I thought that you was gonna actually, turn out to be great. Show me. So
I don't know if he'll see snaps. You saw what Scotty Miller did.
Yeah,
he'll see some snaps for sure.
I think he's definitely got to see some snaps, but the opportunities are going to be few and far between. And his problem is a details problem. It's not talent. Roman Wilson's got a lot of talent, but it's, where are you cutting? Are you at where you're supposed to? Are you breaking on the corner in the direction that Aaron is expecting you to? I think it's more of him being mentally locked in and ready to go more than it is a physical thing and a talent thing for him. When you're with a vet like Aaron Rodgers and he wants to put the ball in a certain place, he wants you in that spot. And so I think it's more or less Roman needs to prepare and practice those routes and that timing to be able to get it, because he'll get out there and it's going to be very few and far between. But when he does get those opportunities, he better be in the right position.
Just like how Jonnu wasn't in the right position, and
or do we go get Alan Lazard, who just got released from the Jets?
Yeah.
Dude, we went and got MVS. Why would we not get Lazard?
MVS has a touchdown.
Okay, but I'm saying Alan Lazard is more sought after than what MVS was at this point in his career.
I just don't think I want another Jets wide receiver.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, if we went and got MVS off the street when he wasn't even on the team, why would they not at least consider, especially with DK being out 2 weeks?
I think it's a fair point. I think it's a fair
Yeah,
point. I don't see him bringing in another older veteran after they already did. I don't know. I think they're going to stick with what they got, knowing there's only
they brought in 50 old vets this year. What's another one?
Our roster's made of old vets. What's another one? What's another one? Just raising that age average straight. Yep. Just keep on.
Hey, 1 year deal. 1 year deals. If it works out,
we do need to talk about the ending of this Lions game though, and how absolutely crazy it was. I mean, when they first drove down there and they had the first pick play where Amon-Ra St. Brown catches it, I threw my jersey off. I was like, I cannot believe they just let it up. And then they called it back. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. And they hold it all the way to fourth down, and then the end. It's like
this was the false start. How is that not blown dead? How is that not blown dead?
See, that was my thing. That was my thing about the whole time. Like me watching it, I'm like, that's not forward progress. It's supposed to be blown dead right there.
He went back. He went from the inch line to the 5-yard line, and then pitched it.
Because if Jalen Ramsey would have slammed him down, they would have called a flag on that.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, that has got to be blown dead. And even the players in the locker room, if you go back and look at their interviews after the game, said that they heard one of the officials blow their whistle. And so I think there might have been a whistle blown, whether it was inadvertent or not. But I mean,
that could have been very controversial.
Logan
still was.
To some people, it still is, even though I think every reputable outlet has said that the right call was made.
Yeah. It was.
Because besides it not being forward progress.
And not to mention, if Lions fans really want to complain about, the offensive pass interference and how they were this tic-tac, that, and the other, there was a 4th and 2 that the Lions converted because of a defensive pass interference where, yeah, when you go and look in slow motion, Duggar got there and broke up the pass a little bit early. But when you looked at it live, it looked like it was a bang-bang play. And so if you really want to go through and talk about tic-tac calls, you can go back to the one that essentially the refs saved your chances at the game and allowed the game to keep going since after that. So it's like
Jalen Ramsey's getting that call every time. He's a vet. He's an all-pro vet. He's a Pro Bowl vet. Like, he's getting that call. It was an offensive pass interference, but even if he did flop, he's still getting that call.
Joel, okay. What was your reaction to it?
Because this is my reaction. For the Lions fans that was talking that was just saying anything, talking about the refs helped us out. The same play with the OPI, with the pick play is the same thing that they gave us with Darnell Washington. The same play with OPI with St. Brown they gave to DK before halftime. So if you really want to be mad at your coach, you went for it on 4th down when y'all was at the 4. Y'all could have had 3 extra points. Y'all wouldn't even be in this situation.
That's true. That is facts.
All I'm saying is they should have blew the whistle and blown the ball dead. Because
Speaking of going for it, how about Tomlin just being aggressive now? This is something we have not seen. Tomlin going for it on fourth down, especially in the red zone. We're 20-yard field goal and he's kicking it 99% of the time. Now he's like, let's put Connor Hayward in. Let's do a tush push. Like I applaud Mike Tomlin for listening and adapting to what the NFL is doing now. Like we haven't seen this, and that's why me being excited about this team has raised real quickly because I was still like, all right, we're still the same old Steelers. We can win 2 games we're not supposed to, and we'll end up losing the last 2. But Tomlin is finally taking chances. Like he says, he doesn't live in his fears. He's finally living by that saying. Like, how many times have we gone for it on fourth down the last 2 weeks?
A lot.
It was like 4 times last week with Connor Hayward. Back-to-back tush pushes. Like, you don't see that. Tomlin's never done that. We're usually in shotgun, like.
And that's what this fire that has been lit under this team, I feel like, was a necessary evil. I mean,
100%.
Tomlin had to hear that the fans were fed up with the status quo. And like you mentioned that, there's another thing that he's done differently. I mean, how upset were we last year when he would not take Cam Sutton out of the starting lineup and start Beanie Bishop or just somebody else?
Yeah.
Because Cam Sutton was getting just crispified. He was the kryptonite of the entire defense last year and let up so many touchdowns. This year with playing guys like James Pierre or leaving Dylan Cook in when Dylan Cook is playing well instead of going to a guy like Andres Pete, who's a former Pro Bowler. Again, he's way past his heyday. But
he didn't play bad either.
Old Tomlin would go with the vet. He would go with the guy that he trusted the most. But right now, he's going with who's hot. Right? Yep. He's riding the momentum, and I feel like this team is really buying in because I feel like part of those scenarios is like when you see your coach standing by a player that's clearly not living up to their assignment, when a young guy can come in and get an opportunity or is showing signs of playing better, but Tomlin wouldn't do that. I feel like the team loses trust in what the coaching staff is trying to do. Whereas when the team is seeing guys like James Pierre or Dylan Cook who have been balling out in practice, waiting for their opportunity, and when they come into the game, they actually seize it and play well, I feel like the team is now trusting that the coaching staff has their best interest at heart and are starting to buy in because of that. And so, and again, we called for his job. At least me and Trey did. I'm not going to say Juwan did because he never got there. But props to Tomlin for taking the proper steps to adjust. The question now is, can he finish? Can he finish? We're right there. We're going to get a home playoff game, this time with fans. First time home playoff game with fans since the Jags game in 17 or the 18 playoffs, but the 17 season. Regardless, this is massive, massive for the future of this team and who's going to be the head coach and what's going to be the overall direction and what this team is going to look like going into next season. I mean, it is everything rides on how these last 2 games in the regular season go and what this team looks like when they get into the playoffs and they finally get to host a game in front of their fans.
One last thing I wanted to mention was people aren't even talking about the fact that we're still banged up. Like some of our best defensive players aren't there. Like Deshaun Elliott hasn't been there all year. Like he's been gone for the beginning of the year. So things like that is like showing that they are making the right steps. Like even going out and getting Asante Samuel Jr. Trading for Duggar. Like the Steelers are starting to finally get into the way of like how it should be done, and it's working for us. And I'm just happy to see that we're finally making moves, doing things that we need to be doing to be successful.
I would say this. I really don't like this dude because his hands are just for decorations. But Clark made he's the MVP of this game. The reason why I said that is because of the deflection in the end zone. When Tesla got the ball thrown to him. That deflection, that was going to make or break us right there. But I'll shout out to him. My next thing is,
If that man could catch,
oh my God,
that man could catch, he'd be an All-Pro.
he had like really golf though. He threw like 4 interceptions. 3 of them to him. Really 5. No, it was 4. 2 of them to him, 1 to Highsmith, and then 1 to Yaya.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I wanna know on a scale of 1 to 10. When Boz missed that field goal, where were y'all stress level at?
Oh, I was at a 9 at least.
I think I was.
I was like, game's over. This is easy. He's making this low snap, hits the upright. I'm like, no, that's literally. I told you guys I was at work working. I literally tossed the trash can across the beer garden. Luckily, nobody was there. But I was like, and when they scored, dude, it was just. But that stress level, like you said, 9, easily 9.
My face just. I fell to the floor and I just was like.
I literally looked away, heard the doink, and I'm like, no shot. Absolutely.
I thought we lost. I mean, I wouldn't say I was at a 9. I was at a solid 8, boys. And yeah, I thought we blew it. I thought we blew that game. But that's the tale of what good teams do, is finding a way to win down the stretch, finding a way to get those hard-notch wins. And to be honest with you, if we would have lost that game, say if the Lions did ultimately come down and score and they missed one of those offensive PIs and that's how the game ended. I mean, you could still come out of this game and say, man, did they go in there and did they really rough up the number 1 offense in the NFL, shutting the number 1 running back duo down and show that they could play with this team.
Yeah, I mean, but I also think they would have broke us.
May have, but I don't get that feeling. It hurt and it sucked, but it would have, but I don't know. Like part of me would have been like, man, like this team really can play with some of the best in the NFL. Lions had a tough schedule this year, and they're one of they lead the NFL in injuries as well. Like their whole defense is banged up. Like it's a banged up team. Just even though their offense is still really, really good, they're a banged up team. The fact that we could go into a place like that in an environment like that, like we don't play in environments like that, where it's the road environment is just that lopsided to where we don't have a presence.
Not to mention indoors, like indoors crowds are crazy.
That's a tough place to play, and the fact that they, not just pulled out the win, but the fact that they really bullied that team. Yeah, I mean that said something to me. That said something to me, whether they would have went down there and lost the game or not. I'm glad they won. That makes it that much better. But that is what's starting to install this belief in me that this might not be the same old Steelers that we've been seeing for the last couple of years. This could be something different, and they could be getting hot at the right time. But time will tell. Time will tell. And this weekend will tell a lot.
Also, hold on, let me bring this up. So, shout out to the Pro Bowl winners. Well, people, I guess. Shout out to TJ Watt, Jalen Ramsey, and Ben Skoranek.
Hey, Ben Skoranek's a dog. Ben Skoranek is a dog.
I want a Ben Skoranek jersey so bad. That's like I haven't bought a jersey in 4 years. I want a Ben Skoranek jersey. Love that guy. He is the epitome of what Pittsburgh Steelers football is. Love Ben Skoranek.
I do think that the Pro Bowl doesn't hold weight like it used to.
Absolutely not.
Seeing,
But for a guy like Ben Skronik, it does because nobody knows him. Like he's a special teamer. Like people are taking notice to his play on the special teams.
but TJ Watt making it is interesting.
It's because of his name. It has
The name.
it has nothing to do with his play. If it had more to do with his play, then he ain't getting in. I don't think he deserves to get in at
Not
all.
this true.
Like he's had a rough season, and hopefully it can be one of those where he's saving it here for the end and having a splash ending, and bringing some of that magic that he usually has throughout a season and just throwing it all in. I mean, he still had some magical moments this year, but not nearly as much as we're accustomed to seeing. And hopefully we can see that defensive player of the year, TJ Watt, that we haven't seen in some time, step up and really help this team kind of finish going down the stretch.
Definitely.
All right. Anything else, boys, before we hop off for the night? We got our Browns preview Sunday morning. We'll be breaking down that matchup, big one on the road against Cleveland. Steelers have only won one game in Cleveland, and that was Big Ben's last year in 2021. Since Big Ben, well, actually even before that, because they tied in 2018. So since 2017, only one win in Cleveland. So this is not going to be a cakewalk, and we're going to give you the full preview, breaking it down against a divisional opponent, a rival, and a team that we just flat out got to beat to get it done.
I will say this. I told you about them Ravens. I told y'all about them Ravens. I had to go look back at a clip from like weeks ago, and we had a discussion on what team will we trust, the Steelers or the Ravens. But I told you about them Ravens. They're not good.
Juwan, I know the finish line is in reach, but we have not arrived yet. Do not take the early victory lap.
No, I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it.
Can the Ravens still win the division?
No.
Yes,
No.
they can.
Yes,
they can.
No. That's over.
Okay. Let's knock on some wood.
Saturday.
Knock on some wood. Boys.
I'm here to say it. Guaranteed. Saturday is the funeral of the Baltimore Ravens.
Fingers crossed. Hope Jordan Love plays, and that way we can have a very, how should I say this, stress-free Sunday, and maybe it's stress-free next few weeks so we can save it all for the playoffs.
Maybe we'll see Will Howard
come in January. That would be amazing. But we will have all of that for you for our Browns Steelers preview on Sunday, probably kicking off 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central, trying to get it out early enough to you guys so you can get out to your game day locations and tune in for that pregame episode. But for tonight, for the Stealing with the Boys podcast, we are out.
Let's go. It's December.
Here we go.